Hello and welcome to episode 116 of Nugget's Dungeon Terrain. In this episode I'm going to build two large enchanted creatures. The first is a Pyre Golem. Imagine a witch burned at the stake who places a curse that stops the flame from ever going out. More than that, it starts to move about, consuming everything around it with its evil magical flame. The Pyre Golem is a terrifying sight, but worse than that, the screams of the burning witch can continually be heard as it roams about. On this large round base I've placed a piece of foam with a small dowel rod in the middle. After gluing it to the bottom, I've then started to apply this thick modelling gel. Each time I place a blob of gel on, I slightly stroke it upwards to start to build up the base of the flame. Before I add any more flames, I attach a skeleton to the pole by gluing it and then put some wire around to represent the rope. I nip off some of the limbs and make them more straight up and down instead of standing in an action pose. I then place two branches of wire on the stake, pointing out roughly where the arms are. These will not have anything to do specifically with the skeleton, they're actually going to be the arms of the golem. I then specifically decide to use the coarse medium gel that's on the inside lid of the jar. This is already a little bit drier and stiffer. As I place each small piece of gel onto the model, I drag it upwards and try to make small vertical spikes. This will become the flames that will be coming off the different parts of the model. I'm going to colour all of these flames yellow and then most of them orange, a little bit less red, and then touch the tips of them off with the black. Next up, I'm going to make another golem. This time it's a cauldron golem. At a lower level, it simply plods around, spilling its contents onto people, but at a higher level, spells shoot out of it as it moves about. The lower half of this creature is just going to be made out of stones. Here, a larger flat stone has some strips of balsa and matchsticks placed on it to make the fire. The cauldron is being made out of polymer clay. I made this when I created the creatures from the last couple of episodes. Just like the Pyre Golem, the flames on this creature continue to burn. You can see at this early stage I had another piece running across the top, connecting the vertical poles together. Once I started to complete this, I did feel that it had less of a feeling of sentience about it, so I decided to take that post off and replace the tops with two skulls. At least they had eyes that were looking out. Here you can see that before I filled up the cauldron with a thick artist gel, I placed a small skull and a couple of round beads into the top of the cauldron. Looking back, these close-up shots are pretty scrappy. Some of the flames and the top of the cauldron look a little bit messy, but when you actually see it up on the table, up against the other figures, it actually looks pretty clean and a little bit menacing. Thanks for tuning in once again. If you've enjoyed looking at these different monsters and maybe it gives you some ideas, don't forget to check the back catalogue of those. If terrain's more your thing, have a look at all the different playlists that have been created so far.